See, I love this girl. She's all I need. And right now, anything she wants, she can get it from me. Greetings, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter, these aspects in Vedic sidereal. That's where the stars actually were. Western tropical astrology was built off of the man-made calendar, which is based off the correlation to the sun, which changes every 72 years. So essentially speaking, that's not actually where the planets were when you were born. So I like to look at both my tropical and my Vedic sidereal. I've heard that the tropical is kind of how we project ourselves out into the world. It's like the make of the car, like that's a Ford, that's a Chevy. It's the sun expression, whereas your soul, the internal, is the Vedic sidereal placement. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, just go to the description of this video, click on the link for your Vedic sidereal chart. You can figure it out there. So we have Playing in Her Hair by The Dream, and an airplane flying over right now. Some of my Aquarius are wanting to travel. We had Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck whenever I was doing your pre-shuffle. Four of Swords, you're wanting to heal from something. For my Aquariuses who are in relationship, you're healing something in the relationship. There's definitely a card of fertility here and clearing. Right off the bat, we have clearing with the Equine Oracle, Aquarius. Right now is the time for you to break out of all negativity or restraints that are hanging around you at this time. You have been held back recently, and you are now gathering your strength and your energy. You have succeeded in overcoming adversity, Aquarius. You are no longer going to tolerate being held back. Speak up, use your voice this month, Aquarius. Glorious wisdom is now yours to have, so burst out with it. Your vibration is at an all-time new peak. This is calling you to be free and full of fire. So some of my Aquariuses are going to be hanging around some fire signs, definitely feeding off that fire energy. You may have fire in your chart somewhere as well. This is time for you to speak up, Aquarius, to go against the flow, remembering that all you create will indeed be for the highest good. Ask questions as you burst forth, vowing to use what you have learned for the betterment of all. Use your newfound force and energy to direct change in the most benefic directions. We have a Dakota travel song that's called the Straight Song, the Sacred Dance. So shamanic drumming will be very powerful for you guys this month especially. There is a need to shoot it to someone straight this month, Aquarius, to just speak, to get out there, to speak your truth, to really share. Awake My Soul, Mumford & Sons, is the next song on the shuffle. So there is something that is stirring, that's awakening within you, which fits with Berkano, which this is the number 18, adds up to a 9, and in Hermetics, 9 was the completion of a cycle. I know a lot of us know 10 as the completion of a cycle, but actually it's 9 in a lot of esoteric metaphysical realms. Berkano is all about the birch tree, and the birch tree was the first tree to sprout through the ground after the Ice Age. So Aquarius, there is something that is birthing out of you. There's almost been like an ice age of sorts in your heart. So if you're in a relationship right now, Aquarius, you are coming into a new place of yourself. You're opening your heart in a new way that is actually going to change your relationship drastically, because who you were when you got into this relationship is no longer who you are anymore, because something is being birthed out of you as you awaken this icy part of your heart and bring a new space into it. Some of my Aquariuses, you may have been finding yourself saying that you never wanted to have kids of your own, and now you're like, you know, I really want a family. I want to be with someone who wants to be in a family. So some of my Aquariuses, this might just be like one or two of you guys or gals, you are realizing that you started a relationship with someone who is like, meh, I could have kids, I don't care. And you're like, yeah, I kind of feel the same. But now you're arriving at a point where you're like, no, I want a baby. You're getting that baby fever. I think of The Dream, and I think of love-making, baby-making music. We also have some very interesting animal medicine cards, which I'll get to in a moment. Some of my Aquariuses are wanting to awaken the femininity of them and the sensual side and invite a third partner into the bedroom. I think this is only for a couple of you, but some of my ladies who are with a guy, you want to watch your guy with another girl. I'm sorry if that's not you, it's fine, but I just had to say it because it's so loud and clear. And Aquarius, I'm hearing it. Like, you want to watch your guy with another girl, like you want to experience that, or he wants to watch you with another man. Like, there's that kind of energy here, which is very interesting. I don't usually get things like that, but Aquarius, because it was so loud, I just have to say it because it's true. All right, so she is the all about the bosom, of female sensuality, as we see her green nature here, which is all about fruitfulness of the heart, abundance of the heart. It's almost like you're seeing this poly experience. You may not want to be a poly couple, but you may want a couple experiences that are poly, Aquarius. You see this as an extension of opening the heart. You see this as like, I love my lover so much, and there's someone that they have a soul connection with, and I want them to be able to experience that person, and it's not going to be some hidden thing. It's not going to be some like, ooh, like hidden, you know, it's just not going to be some hidden thing, and it's not going to be like a regular thing. But for some of my extremely open-minded Aquariuses, which is a lot of you guys, you're just in the space where you would like to explore sensuality outside of the couplehood, and you want to extend it outwardly, and you want to invite people in a loving way within still keeping the container, maintaining the container of the relationship. Very interesting. This is also an inability to commit to oneself. This can be self-deception. This can be being passive, the rune of becoming. So with passivity, some of you guys, your person is trying to, or you are trying to coerce your person to get on board with this. Like some of you guys, you're gonna actually go through with this. Some of you guys want it, and the other person in the couple doesn't want to have this experience, but they will agree with it just because they know you really want it, or you'll agree with it just because you know that they really want it. But remember, Aquarius, as the clearing card said, it's time for you to speak up on that and to share your truth in the situation. Now, if you're single, this is all about you're single because there may be self-deception in the way that you start relationships. So you have something about you that's like, you're really good at seducing people, you're really attractive, you're really magnetic, you have great conversation with people, but when it comes to really committing and creating a grounded relationship about it, you flee or they flee and they run from you, or you run from them, and you're like, what's going on here? It is an inability of, we have another plane going by. So I'm kind of seeing this vision of like two planes just like missing each other. It's like wrong timing. For some of my Aquariuses, you met someone a while ago and you really wanted them then, but they just weren't ready for you then. So you've gotten another relationship because you were ready for a relationship. And now that you're serious in this relationship, you're still friends with that other person, and that other person is like in a place where they're now ready. And so you're wondering, should you jump off that plane and jump into this one? Or can you just have this like third experience with this person? This is a very interesting Aquarius reading. Again, remember, not every month is going to be your reading, Aquarius. So if this isn't your reading, you know it's not your reading, but I will be going through, obviously, the tarot and the other cards. So maybe just this whole experience is not your thing. This is a cycle of death and rebirth, healing of all sorts. It's the strongest through this rune. So this rune is all about recuperation, rejuvenation, purification, detoxification. A lot of my Aquariuses are wanting to lose a couple pounds, clean up their diet, drink some more water, going through, you may be adding things like shilajit, trace minerals, to your morning routine, having lemon water, lime water, doing that sort of thing. Sole water, S-O-L-E, that's having a pinch of Himalayan sea salt or a teaspoon of Himalayan sea salt. Some people work up to like 2 or 3 teaspoons in the morning to give your adrenals replenishment, and it also clears, purifies, detoxifies. You'll have a bowel movement within minutes of you having that sole water. I like to use sole water because I try to steer clear from caffeine. If I do have caffeine, it's only in the form of kombucha, and I try to really limit that. So I like to get my probiotics in other ways. So again, with Berkano, this is the safety of the womb. This is protection of what is coming into being. So if you are nursing like a new job, if you're nursing a new baby, quite literally, if you're kind of nursing a family member, like your quarantine crew, you guys are really close, you're very protective over them. There has become a really strong sense of family and protection over one another in this space. This is, Sally the spider. This assists with life and healing and enhances your ability to provide oneself and others the time and space that they need to grow on their own and grow into their own. So this again is almost like inviting your partner or asking your partner if you can have a intimate experience with another person as a part of your growth, and that it will actually make your intimacy together more potent by you being able to explore outside of and learn some new positions, new techniques, you know, just kind of learn something new. It's kind of like when we travel, we learn new experiences from other places. Some people feel that they need other people intimately. I don't feel that way. I've always been a deeply monogamous person. But you know, I don't hate on others who want to go that route. This is humility, the deepest humility of the feminine power. This is profits, recovery, your sacral wisdom and sacral activity, the energy to grow a family or a business, increase of mental, spiritual, and material profits. Again, that the birch tree is the first after the Ice Age. This is all about honoring beauty, the goddess Freya, who is the Norse goddess of earth, love, beauty, and growth. This is understanding that challenges are inevitable, but you are capable of growing through them, and your prosperity, your career goals, and your success are indeed achievable, Aquarius. This is saying that it will not be easy, but it is time for you to let go. New love is around the corner. Springtime for your heart is coming to awaken a new love within you. Struggle is a part of healing, but healing is always possible, Aquarius. The otter came out upright, which is again all about the feminine power. So there's a very strong need for my Aquarian men to tap into your feminine wisdom, to honor the feminine within you, to honor your feminine needs. Perhaps in some of my Aquarian men, you are in a relationship dynamic where you feel you have to really embody the masculine almost too much because you're with a very powerful woman and you feel like you have to always stay, equal to her or like slightly above to like withhold her projection of what you need to be as a masculine archetype, this, that, or the other. This is just for like one of you guys. And in this dynamic, some of my men need to speak up and speak their need for things to be softer, speak their need for them to be able to express themselves more softly, for them to be able to cry more in front of their woman. In fact, some of my Aquarian men, you feel more comfortable crying in front of other women, and you might be reaching outside of your relationship, not for intimacy, but for the mere experience of having a softer, sensual relationship with a woman where you feel like you can speak about the softer things in life, where you can feel into crying more, speak about crying more, but you're with a woman who is very strong in her masculine because her feminine is wounded, and she won't see it as wounded because she probably has really strong masculine feminine friends and they're all very strong, but there's a specificity here. Again, it's just a couple of you guys where you're with a woman who she's just really strong all the time and she doesn't soften enough within herself because that's a wound within herself, so you can't really express yourself in that way for my Aquarian males to her. And likewise, for my Aquarian females, you may feel like you have to stay in this strong dynamic because you're with a guy who is very strong and he doesn't allow you to cry much. He doesn't hold space for you to soften, and you feel like you always need to speak to other men, your other guy friends, that, you have certain guy friends where you can speak about certain touchy matters and they will get sensitive with you and they will cry with you and they will hold space for your tears and you feel like a stronger emotional connection to them. So that's what it's about. For a lot of my Aquarius couples, there is a dislocation in the emotional aspect and the emotional connection of the relationship here. It's like you guys communicate well, the physical intimacy may be great, certain things are great, you guys work well on paper, but there is a deep soul aspect, soul nourishment at the deepest root, at the core of your emotional needs that's not being met here in this relationship as it stands in this moment. So there is a need to address that. We have Jaguar in reverse and the ant in reverse next to this otter upright. And I want to read from the medicine book because I do really like what the book has to say about the cards. So right off the bat, I'll start with the otter. The medicine held by otter is a set of lessons in female feminine energy, as we've already discussed. This applies to both men and women, as everyone has a female side to them. That is the left side of the body, so you guys may have some aches or pains. Things are popping more on the left side. You may have some parts of the left side that don't feel as strong. You feel like your left side is weaker, things of the like. The otter's hide is very often used to make medicine bags for powerful women because it represents a balanced female energy. Otter is very caring for its young, as we see in Burkano. There's something, a very protective, nurturing quality here that is prominent for you this month, Aquarius. The element of earth and water are the female elements. It lives on land, but its home is always near water. Otter is very caring and loves to perform all type of acrobatics. So for some of my Aquariuses, this is a time for you to explore more acrobatic exercises, more acrobatic sports. At home in both of these elements, otter is the personification of femininity, long, sleek, and graceful. Otter is the true coquette of the animal world. Otter is always on the move, and otter is very curious. Unlike other animals, otter will not start a fight unless it is attacked first. So otter does not start a fight unless it's attacked first, and then it will finish the fight. So this is for my Aquariuses who, yes, who have been just kind of quiet, you're just kind of cruising along in something, and you're now at a point where you can no longer cruise. This joyful creature is adventuresome and assumes that all creatures are friendly until proven otherwise. These character traits are the beauty of a balanced feminine, the side of ourselves that creates space for others to enter our lives without preconceptions or suspicions. Otter teaches us that balanced female energy is not jealous and it's not catty. It is sisterhood. It is content to enjoy and share the good fortune to all others. Anchored in understanding that all accomplishments are worthwhile for the whole tribe, Otter people express joy for others and their accomplishments and their successes. Long ago in tribal law, if a woman were widowed, her sister would offer her own husband to the widow as a lover to keep her from drying up. Also to keep her from not using and utilizing her creative urges. So like I said, some of my couples are noticing like a friend in need, or you're just like wanting to offer this. Like your intimacy may grow from it, or your intimacy may be so fruitful, you guys feel like the Ace of Cups, your juice is overflowing and you're just feeling really generous and you want to share your lover. You're like, my lover is such a good lover. I want someone who's not experiencing a lover to experience my lover, and I am so confident in myself that I know it's not going to detract. And you guys, I'm not necessarily condoning this or trying to push anyone into this, because like I said, I've personally always leaned towards monogamy. I'm a very strong believer in that, and that is just my beliefs. Everyone is allowed to have their own beliefs. So this is for someone who is not thinking that way. This is for someone who's clearly thinking of sharing her man, or for my men who are thinking of sharing your woman. This is Otter medicine too. Envy, or the fear of being replaced, has no space in Otter's balanced understanding of sharing the goodness of love. Woman energy without games or control is a beautiful experience. It is the freeness of all love without any jealousy. This is the joy of loving other people's children and their accomplishments just as much as you love your own children and your own accomplishments. It may be time to examine your feelings about sharing the bounty of your life with others. I also just got a glimpse of some of my Aquariuses really want to adopt, but their partner may not feel as passionate about adoption as they do. So now is the time that you really need to think, is this a person that I want to be with and build the rest of my life with? Because I know I'm passionate about adoption and I will love that child as if it is completely my own, and you need a partner who feels the same way about adoption as you do. This may be it, and you guys may want to have yours and adopt as well, and some of you guys may just want to adopt. Just had to speak that because I think that's for one person out there. Otter may be saying that the finer qualities of woman need to be striven for in both men and women, so that a unity of spirit may be achieved. This would involve the destruction of jealousy altogether, and of all the acts of anger which stem from fear. It would mean keeping a hawk eye on your ego and to always maintain total trust and communication at all times. It would mean a world full of people coming together to honor the right of each person to simply be. If you've drawn this symbol, Otter may be telling you to become the playful child and to simply allow things to unfold within your life at this time. It's time to stop your addiction to worrying at this time, Aquarius. Otter teaches the importance of not hanging on to material things that would bind you or become a burden to you. And looking at how you can love from other Otter's habits, you might look at the joyousness of the receptive side of your nature. Have you given yourself a gift recently? Have you received any messages in your meditations? Become Otter and move gently into the river of life. Flow with the waters of the universe. This is the way of the balanced female receptive energy. Honor it, and doing so you will discover the true power of woman. I love it. So, like I said, I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're dealing with an ant and a jaguar, and a lot of you guys are in this otter space, or this otter space is what you're being challenged to step into. Ant in reverse. Watch out. Here comes the sting. If you're in a hurry, you may fall prey to those who are not working for the good of all humanity. So this is someone who's jealous. Those individuals who make greed a way of life prey on fear, and they prey on urgency, Aquarius. So there's, like I said, I feel like someone's partner is jealous, someone's partner is feeling very mine. It's very like protective and possessive. Someone here is possessive. Those individuals who make greed a way of life prey on fear and urgency of those who have forgotten the natural and tribal law of life. It's easy money. If this warning applies to you, then become aware of its users and become aware of the con artists around you, Aquarius. In the contrary position, Ant also teaches you to trust natural law and to trust your instincts. Remember, clearing, it's a time to clear and to not let other people rule your life, Aquarius. It's time for you to speak up on what you believe. Ant teaches you to trust natural law because if you do, harmony will always follow. Your silly impatience will bring Coyote to aid you in sabotaging your plans for the future if you allow your panic to outweigh your rational sensibilities. The key here is to honor the will of Great Spirit so that mountains are not made out of anthills. And then we have the Jaguar in reverse. So some of you guys are dealing with this person or you're feeling an energy of Jaguar in reverse. If Jaguar is hanging upside down from the tree limb today, you may have created an enlightenment trap for yourself, Aquarius. Has the misuse of authority kept you from walking your path with impeccability? Have you betrayed your personal integrity to accommodate the others? Aquarius, ask yourself, have you betrayed your personal integrity to accommodate the others? For some of you guys, you just don't agree with the collective narrative that's being thrown out there right now, but you're not speaking up about it. You're staying quiet. You're staying in hiding. You're hiding on that tree limb. Are you engaged in some activity that lessens your potential and your truth, Aquarius? If so, call your spirit back and call your energy back. Integrity requires a forgiving and an open heart. Compassion and mercy are also needed. Self-blame or pointing fingers at others only shows your own lack of integrity, Aquarius. And the contrary, Jaguar always warns you to correct any need to control others, any abuse of its influences, any forms of manipulation, victim-like jealousy, greed, hidden agendas, or dishonesty that may be affecting your life at this time, which we've talked about quite a few of these things already, Aquarius. If you have slipped, allowing a temporary lapse in an impeccability to compromise your integrity, then you need to rectify these misdeeds now, before you can move on to the next stage. Jaguar reminds us to become impeccable, always have integrity, and then you will indeed thrive. I like it. So Aquarius, let's see what your tarot has to say in regards to these cards. I just want to help the people that I came up with. That includes my family. That includes my friends. If you're not with us, then don't pretend. I keep to myself. I don't get close to strangers. You might see me coming, but you cannot see the gangsters. Alright, so some of you guys, I just want to help the people that I came up with. That includes my family, that includes my friends. If you're not with us, then don't pretend. So for some of my Aquarius, you're definitely feeling very protective of your crowd, and you're definitely, I'm feeling like a Seven of Wands energy towards other people. And with that Four of Swords, it's like someone in your clan is healing and you're also healing, and you're feeling like this very defensive, like I must protect my people, and I am going to kind of lash out. And in reverse, I'm going to sting anyone who threatens that. So for some of my Aquariuses, you're just feeling very protective of the feminine right now, and you are prepared to sting anyone who speaks on that or who questions that. I want to be a billionaire so freaking bad. File of the things I never had. Okay, Aquarius, I hear you. So some of my Aquariuses are dreaming big when it comes to their fortune. Maybe that's why you're being more protective of your circle, because you're really starting to believe in your craft, Aquarius. You see the long-term goals of whatever it is that you're investing in, whatever it is that you're building. You see the worth in it, and because you see the worth of it, you know that other people are going to see the worth of it. Because you guys, that's how you become successful. You create, oh, Two of Wands in reverse. Interesting. With the Queen of Wands and the Hierophant in reverse. Okay. So some of you guys, Two of Wands, like in this Two of Wands, he is looking at a map. He wants to travel somewhere. He's thinking about traveling perhaps towards this Queen of Wands. He's thinking about this Queen of Wands. But in his subconscious, we have the Hierophant in reverse. And you guys, in this deck, I do have to mention that the Hierophant card, there he is with his lady. They're in an intimate moment. He's sitting there. He's telling her, take off your dress. Keep the panties on. Turn to the right. Pull the panties down. And he's telling her what to do. They're having a good, sexy time. However, if we really look close at this card, Aquarius, and examine, we see there's a naked woman hiding under his chair. He's hiding something from his main woman. There is the queen, and then there's this mistress. And I believe this mistress is this Two of Wands, because Two of Wands wants to travel to the land of Wands to travel to this Queen of Wands, which has a tiger in it. So tiger might be a strong animal totem. For some of my Aquariuses who are single, you definitely want to travel towards this Queen of Wands, but because given the state of everything, or you feel like she's going to reject you, the Hierophant in reverse, or this could be a Taurus in your subconscious, like you're with a Taurus, but the Taurus is jealous and you're thinking about the Queen of Wands. Something like that could be for some of my Aquarians. Other Aquarians, you want to travel, you want to begin starting a more spiritual life. Queen of Wands is all about magic rituals. She is someone who works with the esoteric, works with the metaphysical realms, but because of your devotion to your religious beliefs as they stand already, or your family and the people that you're already in cahoots with, you feel like you're kind of cheating on them, or you would be if you were to express yourself and your spirituality more, because the way that you think about spirituality does not coincide with your partner or the family that you were raised in, and that you feel a protective, strong cohesiveness towards. Aquarius, you don't have to live like the people that you are surrounded by. You don't have to believe in the same things. And those who really are family will respect you in that manner. What's crowning you is the Chariot in reverse. Yep. So Chariot in reverse. You want to move towards this person. You want to give them an offer. Chariot in reverse, Two of Wands in reverse, but you're not going to do it, because if you do, it will completely ruin the Hierophant. It will completely ruin what you have going right now. Now, the mistress under the chair could, again, not necessarily symbolize that the person that you're cheating or your partner's cheating, but they're thinking about them. They keep that under the table. What's under the table? This is the subconscious. They're thinking about this Queen of Wands, but they're not going to move towards this Queen of Wands because they have already built an empire that's guarded by these three horses, and they're thinking about what it would be like, what would it be like if I were to experience this Queen of Wands? You may have dreams of this Queen of Wands, but you aren't speaking on it, you aren't acting on it. In the past, we have the King of Cups in reverse. So I feel like for a lot of my Aquariuses, the Queen of Wands is who you really love. But again, like I said, it was a wrong time, wrong place, wrong time. We have the water is completely swelling and drowning him. So for some of my Aquariuses, you are going from a space where you used to be super emotional, you were waiting for this person for a while, you thought about this person for a while, but then you told yourself, you rationalized, this is just a fantasy, I can't live in a fantasy anymore, these are my goals, so I'm going to find someone who is cohesive with my goals. So King of Cups in reverse, you set your feelings, and you started to go for what was rational. You're being a better man, better woman, and you are just honoring the straight path here. This is a very interesting reading. So for some of my Aquariuses, you've abandoned your emotions, but you have to realize that the dam is going to burst at some point, Aquarius. The dam will break at some point. We have a green dragon because your heart, the Emperor in reverse. Yeah. So the Emperor in reverse, this is very rigid, extreme rigidity. This could also be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I don't feel like the Emperor is the same person as this Queen of Wands, so I do feel like the person that you're thinking about has fire in their chart and the person you're with has fire in their chart. But if we see this Emperor, they're standing really tall and strong. They're kind of doing that whole, they have the belief that like my voice is louder, so I'm stronger kind of thing. Who can scream the loudest is the strongest person. Even though the smartest person is the quietest, calmest one in the room. We have Nine of Cups in reverse is you on the path. So again, you're feeling like you don't have total wish fulfillment here. You're just not totally happy here. You're making it work. This is someone who's making it work, but they're having a really hard time. For some of my Aquarians, you're also drinking a lot. You see he's sitting here by himself at the table. All the light bulbs are around him. It's like his thoughts are all like going off. Ding, 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 thinking. But he can't say any of this. He's keeping it to himself. In your environment is the Lovers. Now the Lovers are clinging to themselves, but they know they must say goodbye. It's never the right time to say goodbye. but I gotta make the first move, cause if I don't, you're gonna start hating me, cause I really don't feel the way I once felt about you. Girl, it's not you, it's me. I gotta figure out what I need. Nine of Cups in reverse. Whoa, it's never right time. Nine of Cups in reverse. Chariot in reverse. Two of Wands in reverse. You're thinking about what it would be like to explore other things. You love this person. You learned a lot with them. You had a really healthy relationship with them, or you do have a very healthy relationship with them. But for some of my Aquarians, you just are not totally fulfilled in this relationship, and trying to be rigid about it, like the energy of the Emperor, this rigidity is not making you any happier, any more joyful. It's not feeding you and nourishing your soul on the level. You went from the King of Cups to the Emperor in reverse, and the King of Cups is in reverse. So someone here is really ignoring their emotional fulfillment and their heart because they're deciding to choose what is rational and what they feel is right. So someone here is very committed, very strong-headed, very of the mind, like a typical Aquarian. It's all in the mind. And fears and outcome. Hopes, dreams, and fears. Justice. Ooh, and we see her bosom there. With two seahorses. Two seahorses with their two cups, their two saucers. And she has her sword. So you are hoping for justice, to have a clean break in the situation. You are, again, like I said, there's a strong emphasis on the bosom here. You really like someone's bosom, Aquarius. I don't know where you're getting these nudes, but you're definitely looking at nudes of someone, because we have two bosoms here. You might like both of their bosoms. But for real, they're like, whoever, for my Aquarian guys, you really like to suck on the teat, for sure. Just had to say that. For my Aquarian ladies, your guy likes, ooh, King of Pentacles is your outcome. I like this for you. Grounded, nurturing, understands earth. So we have the earth and water, just like the strong energies of the otter. We have earth and water here. However, the King of Cups is in reverse. Now we do have a ram and a bull kind of mixture here. So there's definitely a strong Taurus, strong Aries energy. There's Scorpio here, Cancer with the Chariot, Gemini with the Lovers. So someone who you're dealing with could have Gemini in their chart as well, Aquarius. With you moving towards the King of Pentacles, I will say he is looking to the same direction that the otter was. Both the otter and the King of Pentacles are looking towards this jaguar energy. So it's like you want to move towards this jaguar energy, and you want to move, and I'm feeling like this jaguar is this Queen of Wands energy, and you want to move away from the ant, which is the Emperor in reverse. Someone who's, you know, they got that small ding-a-ling energy, where they have, like, you know, giant huge truck, rev their engine, scream really loud, type in all caps, really get their point across, but they're just like really stuffy. Alright, Aquarius, I love you guys. This was a very interesting reading. I will see you guys shortly for your end of June readings.